Last week, I flew to Boston for 24 hours with one goal in mind: a commercial photography photo shoot. Because it was such a short trip, I actually decided to leave my carry-on at home and instead figure out a way to pack everything that I needed, camera gear, clothing, and tech accessories, inside of this bag. Let's see what's inside. Again, just to reiterate, the whole point of this trip was to pack as minimally as I possibly could. And as I packed, I actually realized that there was one item in each of those three sections that I mentioned that really made packing this light possible. So I'm gonna go through each of those sections: camera gear, clothing, and tech accessories, kind of briefly overview each of them, and then emphasize that key item that made packing minimally so possible. And while we're looking at it right now, this is the bag that I packed everything. It's the Lowepro ProTactic 450 AW. Excellent bag, couldn't recommend it enough. But let's actually open it up, see what's going on. For the camera gear section, as always, I brought my Canon R5 with the RF50 1.2. I also packed my Canon R as my secondary body, which is the first mirrorless camera that I ever got, and the RF35 1.8. All great pieces of gear, and I used those two bodies on my Clever Supply dual camera anchor harness. Between those two bodies, two lenses, and the harness, I was able to get a lot of what I needed. But the key item in this section in particular is the Canon RF 70-200. This lens is such a Swiss Army knife. I just made a whole video review about it recently if you want to go check that out. But it's just, it packs so much versatility to a camera kit for the size that it is. It really replaced 2 to 3 prime lenses for me and allowed me to just bring this one extremely compact lens instead. I love using it. It is so sharp at every range. The image stabilization is fantastic. It's just such a joy to use. I find myself really creatively inspired by this lens, and this was a huge reason as to why I was able to get everything into this one backpack. Now, moving on to the clothing section of the bag, this was a little easier to pack lightly because the photo shoot that I was going to wasn't anything too fancy. I was able to afford just bringing an extra t-shirt for that day. So I kept that extra t-shirt in the base compartment of my bag. I actually stuffed a pair of underwear and a pair of socks right here in the camera cube compartments because, well, it adds extra padding and it's just an easy way to use that space. And then I wore this t-shirt on the plane. Again, really minimal, easy. But the key item, in my opinion, are my favorite pair of pants of all time, the Lululemon Commission Slim. These things are unmatched as far as clothing are concerned, and if you are a photographer photographing any type of event, I would highly recommend you pick up a pair or two of these. They're wrinkle resistant, stain resistant, they are 4-way stretch, and they are just so easy to both travel with and to photograph events in. They look like a tailored dress pant, but they feel like you're wearing a pair of sweatpants. So because I had basically those two really style of pants in one pair right here, I didn't have to bring a pair of joggers or sweatpants or something more comfortable on the plane. I could just wear these on the flight out, spend the night, shoot the next day, and then go directly from that shoot in these pants to the plane, fly back home to Chicago, and I was so comfortable, and I felt like I looked good the entire time also. Lastly, for the tech accessories portion of this bag, even though the trip was very short, I still wanted to be able to get work done with my little mobile workstation in my downtime and on the plane. So first and foremost, I do, of course, have my M1 Max MacBook Pro. This is the 16-inch version. Fits perfectly inside the laptop sleeve of the Lowepro ProTactic bag, which is excellent. A little hard to work with on a plane because it's so big, but it fits perfectly inside the sleeve, which is awesome. In this top compartment up here, I had 2 think tank sleeves for my Canon LPE6 batteries. I also packed a lint roller because it's always good to just get one quick wipe down before going to a job. Had various cables and accessories and card readers and laptop chargers, all that good stuff. But the key item for the tech section of this bag is the AirPods Pro. These have very quickly become my favorite headphones. I've had them for almost 3 years now, and I just adore using them. The noise cancellation is excellent. I find that it totally holds up even on longer flights. The battery life was more than enough for the 2-hour flight from Chicago to Boston and back. And again, just the size of them is kind of unmatched. I mean, In a bag of this size, when I'm trying to pack this minimally, a big pair of over-the-ear headphones would have taken up way too much space. And I think these provided so much value for the amount of space that they actually added to the bag. So easy to slip in a pocket and everything, and I also find them more comfortable than over-the-ear headphones for flights. So AirPods Pro, definitely the key item in the tech accessories portion of my bag. So that is everything I brought on this 24-hour trip to Boston. Again, just to reiterate, the Lululemon pants, the 70-200, and the AirPods Pro, in my opinion, are the things that really allowed me to ditch a carry-on and keep everything inside this one backpack that fits in the seat in front of me on a plane. I had a really fun time figuring out how to make this work and ended up really enjoying the travel experience because of that. If you have any space-saving hacks for travel, for work, leave them down in the comments below because I'd love to hear them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.